not very far away. And hopefully there's no Molly there. It's been a good long while. She should be done, I would hope, by now. They might be out of food by now. They probably are, but so goes life. Tom is at the bus stop. I don't expect him to give me problems. He doesn't. I mean, he does by not coming forward, but, you know, I don't expect him to go beating on my vehicle or anything crazy like that. With Molly, she's definitely got a history of it. Wisdom Seeker is on my channel. Hi, Wisdom Seeker. You were going to ask a question earlier. Well, that right there, I feel, is an acceptable greeting. I walked by and, quietly he said, "Hello, Sean," and gave me a head bow. Well, thank you, Tom. Like I said, I don't expect to have any problem with him. He doesn't ever start any problems with me usually. Wisdom Seeker type, yes I was. Thank you, Sean. Would it be improper to ask for your Cash App? I don't have a Cash App. See, that's one of the things I keep trying to explain to people. It's that, yeah, there's lots of people, probably hundreds of people have told me, hey man, if you get Cash App. The problem is that there's hundreds of different things like that people have told me if I get this and I get that. They don't understand. I am not any good at that kind of stuff. I need help setting it up, and there's a lot of stuff that goes with that, when you've been in the same place for 5 or 10 years, you don't end up with the same issues because you're used to having the same mailbox, the same phone number, the same address. When you don't have an address, you don't have the same phone number that you had before. You're having to jump through all these different hoops for basic survival needs. And you're not a computer dude to begin with, and you're spending thousands of dollars to travel from place to place to place, and thousands of dollars to have people to teach you how to do these things. And then, of course, every step of the way, you've got assholes stepping in the way and cutting you off and preventing any efforts that you make from having any progress or any positive outcome. Wisdom Seeker type, I'm so sorry, I understand, you are so right. Are you in Australia? Or New Zealand? Alright, it doesn't look like this church is where the food is. Oh well. Or if it was, I missed it, which is understandable too. I'm glad I didn't run into Molly. I don't have the money to keep running around and doing this. A lot of these services that I've utilized because somebody said, hey man, I'll help you. And there's a one-time only service. These places tell me, hey man, make sure, because this is a one-time only service. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. My friend promised they were going to help me. They promised they were going to come through. I'll fucking use this one-time only service. This is the only time you're going to do this for me. So let's make sure that we make it fucking work. And yeah, that's not what we get, is it? We get Brett Roloff overdosing in his bathroom. Alabama, holy shit. That is such a place. There is, rest assuredly, I gotta tell y'all, trust and believe, there is an Alabama. I ever tell you about my friend Alabama from Alabama? Guess where he was born? Alabama. Anyway, see, there's a lot of stuff with these fucking tweakers and junkies and just people with straight up control issues. I can't handle that. I can't handle having to wake up in the morning to tweakers screaming at me about nothing. I go to a place where they're supposed to serve food for the homeless, and instead of serving food to the homeless, well, they are serving food to the homeless, but then you've got all of those people who are all messed up on drugs, and they're scaring us. You don't think that us out here on the streets being victimized by folks in houses and those people out here on the streets, you don't think that's scary for us? The thing with Molly being recorded beating on my vehicle, and of course it's always over some crazy lady who can't take no for an answer, who can't take leave me alone for an answer. I got so many friends who are dead because a female could not accept the word no. We as boys, we always get it shoved down our throats. No means no. No means no. But those rules are not applied both ways. They should be. They need to be. We need to be able to get these things turned in swiftly. The reason for that is because, you know what? After fucking 6 or 7 years, people's recollection of the actual events ain't exactly what it used to be. There's also the fact that, hey, what happens if they're angry with the person? Sure, they know that person's telling the truth, but they're angry with the person. Well, it's a good thing I got the evidence, but with people trying to destroy my Facebook and my YouTube, they have destroyed a lot of evidence of the wrongdoing of others. The things that I'm told to do when I try them, of course it's the wrong way. I have to try it a different way. I've gone to the wrong place now. I have to call a different place. This is not the right Nebraska troop. This is Troop E. You got to call Troop C. Troop C says you got to call Troop F. Troop F says you got to call Troop C. But then, of course, F also tells you got to call Troop E, who also tells you got to call Troop F. And meanwhile, at some point or another, they're each and every one of them going to tell you got to turn it into the Dual County Sheriff's Department, which, of course, when you're trying to turn in Dual County Sheriff Scott DaCosta, that's a conflict of interest, which is why I'm supposed to go to the Nebraska State Patrol. Meanwhile, yeah, they fucking made me jump through that fucking ring of goddamn fire until after I was assaulted by Sheriff Scott DaCosta and Nebraska State Trooper Lassen. And that's when they pretended like they were going to help me all along. They had done what they were supposed to, and it's not their fault people didn't do their jobs. Really, show me that you did your fucking job. I want that in paper, bitch. So wisdom seeker, what? There's all right, you know what Western Union is? You can send me money via Western Union. What I really need is your voice. But you can send me money Western Union. I would say Walmart to Walmart, but the fact is there's no Walmart here. Boogers. I was trying to get a GoFundMe started before Natalie Bollinger was killed. And there were two or three of them that were set up for me. One of them is made by Candace Bondurant, and the other one was made by Cara Rogers, aka Cara Mia, both of whom later became predatory towards me, and both of whom, well, they're two of the people who told me right at the very beginning that people were threatening to kill them and their fucking families and harassing them and their families. And yes, I got that shit fucking recorded. I got that shit screenshotted. I have mass quantities of evidence. I need help turning it in. I don't have the technological abilities. No matter how much you abuse me, you cannot turn off autism. There is no cure for a superior mind. Except maybe a sledgehammer or a rubber mallet. And that ain't the right thing to do to a person. Imagine with all these false allegations going around, imagine if we murdered every single man who was accused of anything. Like y'all seem to want to do so badly. That's messed up. Anyway, looks like Tom is gone, so he must have gotten on the bus. On my walk back, he definitely acknowledged my existence and my presence. He wasn't threatening towards me, and he seemed to want my attention despite the fact that I was busy making a recording. My comfort level with him is not there. I don't believe that he would do anything to intentionally hurt me or harm me unless he was being blackmailed by Molly or possibly somebody else. You never know what the future holds. But we got to stick with evidence instead of just speculation. The fact is that I was denied the rights that you guys all around the world get to hear about, all these great American rights that we don't have. And you believe that we're all spoiled rich kids. Fuck no. And then there's people in Africa who are able to type on their computers telling us that they only get $200 a year to live on. $200 a year in that country. And I'm like, well, if you only getting paid $200 a year and you have a computer and internet in your country, hey, you're doing something better than we are. That's more than my medical insurance would be for a month. That's not counting having to go get something to eat. You don't have any idea how expensive food is here? Oh, and then you want to say, oh, well, you should just grow your own. Well, I don't have any property. We've gotten to hear cops talk about that, haven't we? What it all comes down to is no matter what, every goddamn thing is illegal because I don't own property. All of the property is owned. So no matter where I stop, it's some form of fucking trespassing at some point. Even this park that I'm parked in, they close at 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. So from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., I got to go park at other parking lots that are all full of fucking tweakers. Yay! And I love that fucking drama, you best believe. Holy fuck. Can you smell the sarcasm? The first time you tell me that you're going to help, I'm like, right on. But then, of course, I take some abuse and we still haven't gotten on it. And I'm trying my best from my end to do everything. And for you guys, it's a matter of, oh, well, you know, I'll text him every few days and eventually he'll get bored and fucking go away. No, he shouldn't have promised me. And you shouldn't lead me on that you're going to. You shouldn't pretend to care about somebody that you don't. And you certainly should not be helping predators to get away with taking advantage of people like me and Natalie. Yes, Natalie was one of my predators. That doesn't mean that she never did anything good for me. Yes, Lan Engeline was one of my predators. That doesn't mean that she never did anything good for me. Yes, Nicole Jarrell was one of my predators, you know? But it doesn't mean she never did anything good for me. I try to see the human in everybody. Unfortunately, people keep wanting to pretend like I'm not. When it comes to sex, I'd rather just avoid it. It boils people's brains. Just the thought of it boils people's brains. I don't mean that literally, of course. That young lady who was nice enough to offer me condoms that, I'm not going to use them. I don't have sex. What the hell am I going to use condoms for? I can't say it like that because that would be rude. But, you know, that's what went through my head. Like, what the hell do I need condoms for? I don't have sex. But she was being nice, you know. We got quite a few people out here on the streets that have told their stories. And we've got a few of them that it's in my private archives for a reason. We got to protect people. The people who pop themselves out in the open right at the start, people like Candace Bondurant, people like Lan Engeline. People like Cara Rogers, there weren't no hiding or covering the fact that they came forward at the very beginning without knowing what the fuck was going on. And they just made assumptions. And of course, people threatened to kill their families. And a lot of people got to see that. They got to see how the Bollingers and their fucking friends went at and systematically fucked and picked at all of these people and places that were helping me. You get to hear out of the voices of the other victims themselves. And you also get to notice that, yeah, many of these people who were victimized by the Bollingers and their predators later on victimized me for coming forward about it. Same thing with the cops. The sheer volume of evidence that I got is just fucking ludicrous. The fact that I was able to get Marcus to look at that video with Jamie in it, that's incredible. You know, I mean, when I tried to show the Department of Health and Human Services the abuse, they fucking turned it off. That was Tara Smith. That was in Nebraska. That's a very common tactic. If they're not going to listen, they don't know nothing. If they don't know nothing, they don't have to help you turn it in. Meanwhile, the longer they procrastinate, the more abuse I have to take. The more mornings that I have to wake up with a fucking tweaker honking at me or fucking screaming shit at me. I am a sponge for my environment. About 30 fucking screaming goddamn tweakers is about all I can handle before I gotta scream at the top of my fucking lungs. And I said, hey, 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 hey. And I said, hey, what's going on? I wake up in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream at the top of my lungs, what's going on? Looks like Wisdom Seeker is gone already. Well, it was good to see you, Wisdom Seeker. I hope you enjoy Alabama. I think I went through Alabama on part of my trip. Oh, you're still here? Well, hell, interact with me. I'm still alive. I ain't dead yet. Walmart MoneyGram is usually an easy way, but the closest thing we have here is Fred Meyer's. It's a Kroger place, and they got Western Union. Same thing with Safeway. They got Western Union. I don't know the zip code for Tillamook, Oregon, but it's pretty easy to find. That's one of the things about my dad pretending like he was going to help. I'm like, Dad, you had your chance to help. And instead you victimized me and cared only about money. And now, years later, you want to pretend like you was going to help. He tried to bribe me. He tried to offer me $200 to take down evidence of how he interjected and fucked up the situation. And of course, he admitted to some things that, he probably ain't proud of admitting to. He also lied a couple times that I can verify are lies, which of course doesn't stand well for his credibility, and he don't like that. Also, the abuse that I went through as a kid, he verified at least in part about part of it. While people were pretending I made everything up, my dad at least admitted that I was learning how to do HTML. He didn't bother admitting that it was because he wanted me to make porno sites for him because he thought I was Rain Man. Like, no, Dad, that's Dustin Hoffman. I'm not Dustin Hoffman. Yes, I know I got a big nose. You got a big nose too. Are you Dustin Hoffman? Anyway, yeah, if I had a Cash App, unfortunately, I need an address to set all that stuff up. It takes time after you get an address. You got to get a card. I got a Walmart card so I could try to receive funds that way, but it's a temporary card until they send you one in the mail, and I didn't have a mailbox. The GoFundMes that were set up for me before or after Natalie was killed, I'd been trying to get help setting one up myself so that I could do so. Instead, when Candace was threatened, all that money that people fucking donated to that GoFundMe, I didn't see a penny of it. And the one Cara Rogers made to try to help me get legal aid or legal assistance, actually be able to hire a real fucking lawyer, because that abuse was fucking hell. Still is. I'm still going through it. So, of course, I've been having people that put things off and put things off and put things off and put things off, and they keep on putting things off. Now I've got fucking 8 appointments set up for tomorrow. It started off with just a couple of them. Then people wanted to reach out and get a hold of me and say, hey, I want to meet up with you. I wanted this, I wanted that. Oh, you're all the way in Tillamook? Yeah, well, the first time I came to you about the abuse in your area, in that jurisdiction, yeah, it fucking took forever to get back to me. I'm going nuts. I'm not sure if, oh, she typed, right, any information you want to give would be written down. I know online is not trusted. I don't quite understand that, but my email address is doggedroman@gmail.com. I don't hide that. You can send me messages there. Well, like I said, I'm in Tillamook. That's easy to find. If you're able to, oh, she typed, okay, great, got it. What I need the most, though, is for people to speak up and actually spread the actual evidence, the actual words. I need people to show as much as they can that this stuff is bunk. I've been from one side of the country to the other to show people in person. Either I have to show you in person, or I need someone to teach me to do the internet stuff so that I can do it that way. And even the internet stuff that I know how to do, I still have to have the facilities to do so. I don't mean the mental faculties. I mean an actual facility to do so in, whether that be a room where I can plug in my electronics and not have to move them and move everything out of my vehicle to access the paperwork, and then I only get a few days and it's just me trying to work on it and I am overwhelmed. There's no way that 3 days is good enough. That's one of the things the cops kept doing is, it's going to take time to turn them in because, you're looking at 2 to 4 years. When a cop abuses you, you're looking at 2 to 4 years tied up in fucking court before a goddamn thing gets done because they want to pretend that physical assaults against you by a police officer are a civil matter. No, he beat the fuck out of you. Nothing civil about that. That's worse than domestic violence. Anyway, Rebecca Gross Nickel Foley, she actually exists. She's actually on my channel, actually speaking. Jamie is obviously on my channel, actually speaking. There's another Jamie on my channel, actually speaking. You can hear her screaming at me. You guys tell me I'm a horrible monster who's going to snap and murder a bunch of people if I raise my voice. You get to hear Jamie, take it down now! It didn't work, did it? And after all these people wanted to pull this bullshit about how they'd been slandered, and it's literally their words. Their words. Like, yeah, you did a great job of showing I was the slanderer there. You're calling literally the words that came out of your mouth slander. So I'm slandering you by repeating what you told me? That don't make no damn sense. If you're going to tell me that the reasons you didn't do the right thing, the reasons that you didn't do what is required by the courts in order to put a stop to this, the things that the lawyers said that I needed to do, the things that, of course, the professionals that I had called on my own, not the court-appointed crap, but the people that I had spoken to on my own before Natalie was killed, already outlined every goddamn thing I was supposed to do. And Tamara was on board. She already knew because she got a son who's got Asperger's. Matter of fact, that's why she quit her job. She didn't want him going through what I'm going through. Now I'm having the same issues here in Tillamook that I had there in Hood River and in the Dalles and anywhere else. I'm a homeless and disabled male. All they gotta do is fucking treat me like I'm the goddamn criminal until I have a fucking panic attack, fucking blow me off, and fucking run me off. I got audio recordings up the fucking wazoo. Meanwhile, there's a lot of shit that I gotta do, and when I'm hurrying up and waiting, the stuff I gotta do here in Tillamook, it's having to hold off until I can, of course, the stuff that happened in Hood River and the Dalles. Marcus Ibarra is supposed to help me with both of those. So if I'm taking a day out, a full day out to try to do that, and thank goodness you let me know it wouldn't be till 11:30 tomorrow. But it ended up being a full day. By the time I realized, it wasn't going to be until late, or until tomorrow, it was like 2:30 already. And sure, there's some stuff I could get done, but I got like $5 in my pocket. Being able to go to that feed would have allowed me some decent food. Right now, I got to go try to find somewhere where I can buy something to eat. Now, am I going to be able to do that? Yes, I can. I have $5 in my pocket. I'm running out of electricity, though, keeping my electronics charged up so that I can at least keep a handle on my fucking stalker so that next time she comes around here trying to pull some bullshit, she knows it's being recorded and she'll think twice like she has been. Is that long-winded? Let me see. It says Facebook. Brittany Woodworth mentioned you in a co. Okay, that's cool. All right, so there's also See Justice Prevail. That one and all the evidence that was in it and all the screenshots, they're gone because I didn't have money. Oregon police warn public of multiple explosives. Lovely. That's fucking creepy. Oh, payment still declined. See, here's the thing. I had to pay all this fucking money out for all this electronic shit that people wanted me to get. People told me I needed to get. And if I got this electronic shit that I don't know how to fucking use, it'll make my whole life better. And then some of that stuff wasn't compatible with the devices that I had. Or, of course, they were too full of evidence to be able to download anything more. And then there's 10 million other problems that got to go with that, ain't there? You're having billing issues because the address that your credit card company has on record is not the one that you currently have, or the one that you typed in. And of course, then you screwed one little thing up and you got to start over. And then there's the part where you're trying to make a police report online and you got like 30 minutes to do it in. Basically, you got to have it already ready and prepared and copy and paste. Of course, when you do it that way, it tells you you're not allowed to do it in that format. Oh, motherfuckers. It's not that I didn't try. It's not that I didn't make the effort. It's that when people aren't there to see it, they can easily pretend it didn't happen. Easily, it's your word versus somebody else's. If they're more pretty, more popular, got more money, well, you might as well just put some lead in your head. Because at that point, your life's just going to be abuse. A lot of people who were witnesses wanted to send me piddly stuff, right? And I'm not trying to say that sending me money makes you a horrible person, but the thing is, if you know stuff about the situation and you're not speaking up and you know I'm being abused and you're pretending to be my friend still, if you were my friend, you'd speak up. You would share the evidence. You would actually be in it to win it. You would actually put up a fucking fight instead of looking the other way. Well, I fight for your rights. Well, I pay attention to what you say to me. The things that my quote-unquote friends told me versus what the cops said were not the same fucking thing or anywhere near it. But the thing is, all these people being targeted, and then, of course, it's valid. It actually is valid. They actually were, and some of them even still are being threatened for trying to help me. I got that stuff with Sarah Bacon, multiple recordings with her, and I got a few of them that are just on sound files, and those, of course, they take for fucking ever. And that's provided I can even remember how to do it. Meanwhile, I gotta try to find money for a fucking facility to do it in, even if it's just Starbucks. If it's Starbucks, I am limited to what I can carry. What I can reasonably carry and still get closed down and picked up and cleared out and brought back to the vehicle before Starbucks closes. If I have to dig out my desktop, first of all, they're not going to let me set it up in Starbucks. It's a big-ass fucking desktop. I'd have to go in and out of the building 3 or 4 times just to bring all the stuff in to set it up. Their tables are tiny. I'd have to take up multiple tables. People do not think about it first before they make suggestions. They don't make the fucking equation 2 + 2 = 4, right? If I'm disabled and I'm not supposed to lift more than 10 pounds or twist or bend, all of this is bending and twisting and lifting more than 10 fucking pounds and shuffling and reshuffling. And I gotta pull stuff out to get to the stuff at the bottom. There's no way I'm gonna get any of that out unless I shove all of it into the front and into the floorboards and into the dash and, of course, stack it up to the ceiling here. I mean, it's an awful lot of goddamn work. It's an awful lot more work than if you've got a place to sit down and actually work on it, where you can have some peace and fucking quiet. Shannon Alvarado getting drunk and yelling at Rick McCormick until 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. That's not peace and quiet. Brett Roloff running away all the time from his girlfriends in Virginia. I don't fucking know his girlfriend hardly at all. And I'm stuck with her while she's got a tracking app on her phone so that she can track his phone and know exactly where he's at every minute, every minute of the day when he's away from her. And that's on my YouTube channel too. You can hear her fucking stalking her all, or stalking him all fucking creeper like. Meanwhile, people are dead. I got to worry about being harassed, threatened, or assaulted here. I got to worry that if there's an occasion where I happen to go to sleep and I don't have the ability to fucking record it and Molly walks by my vehicle, I might wake up to a police officer smacking my window with his fucking flashlight. Cuh. Excuse me, sir. Hey, could you keep your hands where I can see them? What the fuck, dude? I'm fucking sick of this shit. And I'm sick of people who pretend that they fucking care about me not speaking up. Well, I don't know how. You didn't know how to share anything on Facebook, right? You don't know how to share anything on Facebook? You don't know how to look at any of that and fucking share it? You don't know how to look at something that's posted up? You don't know how to use your mouth? Shit, you make selfies and fucking selfie videos all the fucking time. You do know. You know how to speak out. You have a venue to speak out. You've got your Facebook. And yeah, that's basically just to the peanut gallery. But you guys, instead of fucking telling me, oh, Sean, you poor thing, I'm sorry you went through this, and this, and I saw this, and this. Well, why don't you speak up on your Facebook so that others can see and know? Why am I forced to literally break the law? To try to protect people like Jamie. To try to protect people like myself and my little sister and my niece. And Candace Bondurant. And her children. And Carl Rogers and her children. And Danica Garner and her children. And Rochelle Shelley Campbell and her children. And Rose M. Kelly and her children. And Mandy Hughes and her children. And grandchildren. And Mandy Singer and her children and grandchildren. I gotta worry about a lot of fucking people's children. The police, what they said about these situations does not line up with what these people told me. It's a lot easier to make the right decision when you have the right information. When certain parties are denied the right to stand up to their accusers, to face their accusers, to show evidence. What the hell kind of an America you gonna tell me you're fighting for, soldier? Sure the fuck ain't my rights. The money I got in my pocket, I gotta be careful with it. It's $5 fucking. How far is that gonna last me? You wanna tell me to go out and panhandle? Meanwhile, I gotta try to wait because Marcus is apparently, it's gonna be tomorrow at 11 to 11:30, somewhere around there. There's also the gentleman who was here today who said that he would be able to help me with going out and trying to do the, what do you call that? The food stamp thing here so that I can go down and get a phone that way it'll save me money every month. And that's one of the things that Marcus was telling me about, but I can't get it now because I don't have that stuff done. And it's not like I haven't tried. It's that there is all of this shit that I have to do. These people are telling me I have to do it. All of them know that I'm not capable.
I'm not capable of physically doing these things. I am not capable of financially doing these things. I do not have the internet means at my fingertips the way that you think that I have it. I live in this. I got my phone for access for most of this shit. There's a lot of stuff you can't do on a phone. A lot of the appeals that I had that I lost, I would have won them if I didn't have a phone to have to do it on. Meanwhile, people want to pretend that shutting up is the way to win. No, that makes you a bitch. Straight up. Anyway, my name is Sean Schwartz. I've been fighting this battle for a lot of years, and I've been finding missing people since before Natalie was killed. When I had the ability to record stuff, I sure as shit do. I sure as shit did. When I was able to take screenshots, you damn right I did, and with a fucking vengeance. People not taking me seriously, blowing me off, pretending that because I'm intelligent, that I should magically be able to do things that nobody's ever shown me how to do. Things that I should magically be able to do just because somebody thinks at my age I should be a computer genius. Or at my IQ I should be a fucking computer genius. No, my IQ doesn't make me good at fucking computers. There's lots of autistic people who aren't good at math either. Did you know that? Not everybody who's autistic is fucking Rain Man, Dad. Fucking dolt. Anyway, my dad's one of my predators. When I was growing up, I grew up in the system because he chose cocaine over his own kids. Not our fault. That's not my fault. That's not Eric's fault. The abuse we both went through in the system because our dad was in prison. Yeah, prison was a cakewalk next to the shit I grew up in. Even being targeted in there the way that I was. One of their favorite tricks is to deprive you of oxygen. If you're deprived of oxygen, you're not going to sit still. You're not going to remain still. You are going to move. Or, of course, initiating severe quantities of pain upon different portions of your body. My knee was pretty fucked up from Waylon Lolatai assaulting me in the Boulder County Hospital. So when I was in the Longmont Hospital, trying to turn in the same shit, well, Officer Burke walked around me and felt different pressure points while the hospital staff were in there, of course, watching. See, the cops were supposed to take me there so that I could make a report. That's what they said. I could make a report when I got to the hospital. The same thing they had done in the Boulder Hospital. You can make a report when we get to the hospital. I get to the hospital and the cops fucking leave. They still won't look at my evidence. No matter what. They would not look at my evidence. And then after the fact, they want me to turn this shit in literally to the predators who did it. They want me to turn in the crimes committed by Burke and Jonas and their two buddies. They want me to turn that in to Jonas? That is so completely fucked. Or Washington State, having to turn in Officer Schmidt to Officer Schmidt after he helped a man get away with stealing my computer, and that computer had a lot of important evidence. See, over time, this evidence, I can't pay the bill anymore. I paid the bills for some of these things for fucking years, hoping that somebody was actually going to fucking look and help me to fucking share this information. But you pretend on a sandwich. Yes, Sean, I made all these promises, but I gave you a sandwich. So you should be fucking, you're being ungrateful. You're being ungrateful because I at least gave you a sandwich. Well, thank you for the sandwich, but I needed your words more. If killing myself is the only way to get my voice heard, how horrible is that? The fact that I'm alive today and my family still won't hear me. My friends still won't hear me. They just want to hide from it. To be angry because when I told the truth, and they didn't back me up on that, knowing that I was telling the truth. That's what resulted in this abuse, continuing to be ongoing. It's called the cowardice of others. It's called public opinion and public bias. Those who don't believe in the propaganda still know that it exists and know the effects of that propaganda on others. They know that even though they may not think that all mentally ill people are Jack Kevorkian or Jeffrey Dahmer or Jack the Ripper, they know that most people do, and if somebody calls your friend mentally ill as an excuse to do something, you better dip out, because if you stick up for them, you'll be targeted. You know he's mentally ill. You know, you shouldn't help him. You should be afraid to help him. You absolutely should if you're going to take advantage of me. That's not help. Fuck yes, I'll speak up. If I'm fucking having to kiss your ass because I'm in your subservient environment and I'm paying the fucking bills and I'm paying for every goddamn thing I can, you're sitting on a couch and fucking getting drunk and fucking yelling at your video game or watching Game of Thrones about incest and fucking murder and shit like that. That stuff does creep me out. I gotta understand, like at Dallas, that's how he winds down for the day. And when he doesn't have a job, he winds down all day. You still there, Wisdom Seeker? I think it's got like a 30-second delay or something on it. I don't know. Anyway, I gotta worry because if I get arrested for something, doesn't matter if it's bogus or not, they're gonna take my vehicle, they're gonna expect money that I don't have. I have zero fucking income right now. And that's because people didn't use their words and wanted to play victim when I put their words out there. The best part, and I know it's horrible to say this, the best part is when people are angry. When they decide they ain't gonna be friends with me anymore. And they unleash, and all that shit that I told you comes right out of their face. I fucking told you. Some of those people withheld information thinking that if they didn't say nothing, it was helping me. I'm like, no, you dumb son of a bitch. I admitted to my worst sins live on Facebook, publicly. You say you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing. You refuse to talk to me, you refuse to talk about that. You wouldn't tell me about yourself the whole time. Then when you're angry with me after telling me you don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, you're like, well, now I'm angry, so all that stuff that I hid for his protection because I care about him, I'm going to throw all that at him as if, oh, Sean, you're in big trouble. No, I admitted to that shit. That's what I was asking you to fucking speak up about. Was it true or no? Obviously it was fucking true. Obviously you were making stupid decisions because you weren't listening. You goddamn right I admitted to every goddamn thing. I'd do the same thing for you if you went missing, you dumb son of a bitch. Holy shit. Ed Simmons, prime example of that. Most of the time I'm recording because I gotta be fucking paranoid. I have to be paranoid. People like Molly are all over the fucking country. Tweakers are all over the country. They annoy the shit out of me no matter where they are. Yes, I still see them as human beings. Yes, I still share with them. Yes, I will give a fucking tweaker a goddamn blanket before I watch him fucking freeze to death. You goddamn right I will. That's why Ogre, after 1 year of helping me with the outreach, after 1 year, he quit. He said he was sick of walking drunk people to the Warman Center. And on more than one night, I had to walk his drunk ass to the Warman Center because he was so drunk he couldn't remember what day it was or which Warman Center he was supposed to be going to. Well done, Ogre. He quit because he didn't want to walk drunks to the Warman Center. So that left, well, quite a few more walks for me. The first year, it was me, Ogre, and Sage. Sage is one of the people that I was going to visit on the Virginia trip. He sent a care package for my birthday to Natalie and Alicia's mom's house. And of course, that was Natalie and Alicia had said that was all right and told me that I should have it sent there. I never got it. I asked Sage if Natalie and Alicia or their mom had ever sent it back to him. No, they didn't. Whatever he'd sent me, they kept. And a lot of people, they wanted to pretend that I had access to resources I didn't. They wanted to pretend that I got thousands of dollars from GoFundMe's. No, that was Ted Bollinger. That was Natalie's real predator. That money went to, of course, Alicia Bollinger and her mother. Two more of Natalie's predators. And no point in time was I ever a predator to Natalie Bollinger. I was always a friend. When I left Virginia and I got a hold of her, it was because I was being fucking abused. And I followed what we're taught to do. I went to my abusers and asked them to stop. I went to my friends for help. I went to a trusted adult. Over and over and over again while taking abuse. And when I had to scream at the top of my lungs in desperation for help, you pretend like I'm a fucking monster? That's just insanity. Anyway, it is now 7:09. I still have 3 hours where I can be here before I have to move on to somewhere else. I got to try to get that taken care of with Marcus tomorrow. I don't know what time that other guy was going to come back, but I sure could use the help, so I really do want to meet up with him. Meanwhile, I also got to try to set it up with Jason so I can go turn in the stuff here in Tillamook, and that's not even getting fucking started. I mean, there has been so much stuff that other people push off and push off and push off and push off. And I'm stuck hurrying up and waiting because I literally cannot do these things myself. I cannot turn them in myself. I will not be treated the way that you assume that I should be. If you're there and present, then they'll act differently. And that's what I need. I need them to be human beings towards me and try to at least pretend to listen. And if you go in with me and they treat me nicely after you go in with me, you say, see, that wasn't that bad. Well, of course it wasn't that bad. You went in with me. But you don't want to see evidence. Instead, you allow my predators to slander my name and use that slander as an excuse not to look at evidence. What the fuck? The thing is, with the sheer number of crimes committed against me by both the hospital and law enforcement, what the hell am I supposed to do to defend myself? And I gotta hope that Mr. Ibarra is gonna be able to get something done, and I gotta hope that these other people are actually gonna come through. And as we know, yeah, When you're abused, even if there's witnesses to the abuse, shit, even if they know that it happened, we're there to see it. 8 months later, you still trying to beg them, hey man, they fucking called me a liar in court for saying that. You're a witness that I'm telling the truth. It's on my YouTube that it actually happened, and you actually know that it happened. Well, it's on YouTube. You shouldn't need me. No, they're not going to look at YouTube unless you fucking speak up. They're going to continue pretending like I'm a fucking schizophrenic, fucking goddamn delusional nutsack. And apparently Wisdom Seeker is done anyway. So I got to be afraid of tweakers here. I got to be afraid of Molly here. I got to be afraid of a lot of shit. God bless America. And then because I'm overwhelmed, and autism is a communication disability, that communication disability isn't my fault. The fact that you refuse to listen and you have your own assumptions ain't my fault. The fact that you set them in stone when you assume somebody's retarded is also not my fault. The fact that you think dispensing advice is helping somebody, you have no idea what the fuck is going on in their lives. Because you're too busy fucking talking. For a lot of you that offered to help me, and I wasted a lot of fucking time on you because you were going to help me. All you did was waste my fucking time and talk about you. And then you're like, well, I don't know much. Well, of course you don't know much. Why is it that I can fucking write in fucking encyclopedia volumes about some of these people that I know that offered to help? Why is it that I know so many intimate details of their fucking lives? It's because they wouldn't shut the fuck up. That's not help. Or they were listening, but then again, I had to say the same thing 30 times, and then at the end of it, they tell me that I didn't say that. I literally said it 30 times in one video to one person, and that one person wants to tell me later that I never said that. Well, sure the fuck I did. Then you get to hear the tactics from the police and from dispatch, and of course the hospitals as well. Any of these professionals, if you're trying to turn in something that is a crime against you that they will have to mandatedly report, they will fucking talk over you and fucking intimidate the shit out of you. You're goddamn right. Anyway, I don't believe that it's safe for me to turn off my phone at any point in time, because you never know, especially when you have been made a target the way that I've been. And those of you who want to pretend that because I'm speaking up that that's a valid excuse to harm me. No, 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 no. You do not get to harm me and pretend that it's okay. It looks to me like Wisdom Seeker is gone. So I'm gonna, I guess, dip out on this video and tell you all thank you for coming to visit. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.